You can't kill the zombies either. Like, the cleave doesn't work on them.
And you can't buy eggs on Wraith King, or there's more zombies.
And they spawn on your little skeleton dudes.
Yes, they do. And your decay hits the Wraith King Ags as well, giving you strength, so it just guarantees you can't buy an item.
Does it really?
You literally said "and" before you had thought of something else to say.
And that's correct. No, I don't know. Undying's one of those heroes. I consider him a 20-minute hero. It feels like if he owns for 20 minutes, he's done his job.
He used to be that way before talents.
But you think
that level 15 talent
and a 20. You're right.
Yeah, like
he's still a tombstone, but now he's got 2 tombstones.
That are double attacks. And when you throw Weaver bugs on top of the zombies, like it's actually like near impossible to just target things properly. And heroes like Tiny Wraith King, like Tiny Tree, right? You have 5 attacks. You want to utilize all of them. If you're forced to hit a bug 4 times and zombie after zombie, like it's just miserable to play the game.
I think they're setting up for something like a Wraith, or not a Wraith, something like a Terrorblade on Vici.
You need a Medusa, I think.
You need a high attack. Like, okay, you either need a hero that kills the tomb while hitting other people, like Medusa, as you mentioned, or you need a hero that split pushes and like kills the tomb really fast.
Yeah.
And so I mentioned Terrorblade just because they're setting up this safe lane to be a hero that just gets what it gets with this Warlock pick. Mm-hmm. So you just like sit there sustaining. So I'm looking at these heroes that want to play like that, and I think also another option is Lycan. I think those are the like 2 heroes that come to mind for me if I'm like in the safe lane looking at this VGJ Storm lineup.
BSJ as a carry player, what are your thoughts on Paparazzi just in general? What does he do very well?
Honestly, he's one of those players that I feel like when I watch him, I don't see one thing in particular that just stands out. I just see him as a very fundamental, high-skill player. Like, he doesn't play a specific role, really, for the team, but he just does everything well. That's kind of how I've noticed him. It's hard for me to identify with him because he's kind of just an all-around player.
Yeah, which is not something BSJ experienced with.
Yeah, I mean, I was implying that, but everyone was supposed to hope.
I just want to make it clear to the fans out there that might not know how this TriCast really operates.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
So do you want him to pick their carry here, or do you take your possibly other support?
I mean, I think that Wraith King's probably going to turn into a support.
Okay. It sure looks like it. And it'd be some real janky lanes if he's not. Man, Wraith King support then. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, it doesn't technically have to be a support.
Tiny.
Yeah, I was going to say.
We've seen it.
I like Tiny support a lot more in this game than I do Wraith King support. I think Wraith King is just only effective as a core unless it's a hard 5. And I think a hard 5 Wraith King gets an Undying.
Yeah.
Like, you're worthless.
I just feel like Tiny Core could do so much against Marana, Weaver, Willow.
I think you put your early game in too much jeopardy if you run around with the Wraith King support, whereas the Tiny is like incredibly strong at trading, and it allows you to like set up kills in your side lanes. I just think that it just functions in the draft better.
Is that a mid Clinks? Based on that Morphling ban, they assume it's a mid Clinks. I feel like Clinks could do pretty well safe lane, but I don't really like the idea of like Warlock Clinks safe lane. I think Clinks has the issue of getting ran at, and Warlock usually protects himself by healing his core. So I would much prefer they put the Warlock with a melee hero. Honestly, I have no idea what they're going to pick here.
But this does mean it's going to be a 5 Undying, which means he probably doesn't get the tome. Just being a 5 instead of a 4, right? It just pretty much means you get less of everything, right?
5 seconds remaining.
Or no? Is that not a good way to put it?
Some heroes start as 5s and turn into 4s, like Wyvern, just because they naturally defend towers, like farm lanes and stuff. But Undying is a hero that doesn't farm. He doesn't like do all that much with items either for a support, and he doesn't need items to do his job early. So where does the farm go to Undying? So he's a hero that generally starts as the 5 and ends as the 5.
Now, I remember the King RD Undying maxed out at 30 minutes.
Okay,
it's pretty nasty.
Wait, so real quick here though, we have the debate. It's either Wraith King or Tiny support.
It's Wraith King.
Yeah.
Well,
I think it's Wraith King.
We assume it is.
That's just.
What a draft.
Underlord versus Undying, man. It's another underrated aspect of Undying into the mid-late game is the damage amp on your ultimate.
Yes.
Underlord, his whole kit is built around being, like, what is his nickname in China? I think it's Big Butt.
Yeah.
Like, that's the hero concept.
He goes and he's there.
Yeah.
That's what he is.
And Undying crushes you in the laning phase and then allows your team to just take him out so quickly. And what do they kill Weaver with, guys? The first 2 Weaver.
Tiny.
It's up to Tiny. Yeah, possibly support, not support.
Are we going to
Tiny.
see like a Dragonlance Hood Weaver?
No.
Okay.
I think it's nice. I think treads. And then
Tread's
like a
Aquila.
diffusal maelstrom. Yeah, treads Aquila, and then like a diffuser maelstrom time.
I think he has to get 1 strength item, otherwise he will. Like, you have to preemptively, because if you die once to the Tiny combo, it gets easier and easier, as we mentioned in that last game. So I feel like you do have to build 1 item on Weaver to make it so you avoid that first death from Tiny.
I think Dragonlance could happen.
Yeah, just something like that, right? Just something that says
I think
a little bit harder.
The treads Aquila is enough until the Echo, I think.
Okay.
And then you get your Maelstrom or Diffusal into Dragonlance. I like.
Okay, so you'd rather go the farming or enabling item first.
I feel like if you have like this Treads Dragonlance Weaver, it's so much gold expended, your power level isn't increased. And I think if Weaver just plays aggressively here, he gets that 1 connection into a couple kills in the tower. Now you're ahead. You get the defensive item next, and it like allows you to stay on map. Stay strong.
Vici Gaming has very little reach. They have very little ability to chase you. Like, they have this heavy team fight AoE lineup, but none of it can pursue you. So
And PSJ, for the fans at home, can you define reach?
Oh, yes.
What does that word really mean?
Yes, of course. It's basically able to close kills or continue chasing people is the way I look at it. So, like, kills from long range, like, you're able to, like, if they can't react when they see you, or you jump them before they can react, or if they like 4-step away, they peel away, as you mentioned earlier, that you can continue chasing them. And Drow is actually a hero that's good against those type of lineups, surprisingly.
I like it a lot. It's a bit rough against Clinks, I think, in Wraith King, but if you get ahead, it's like this Underlord, right? If he had a Crimson Guard like we've seen, like Hood Crimson, like 15 minutes, all of a sudden the Drow lineup's in trouble. But I feel like the laning stage of VGJ Storm is so strong.
The Undying against the heroes that will be laning against the Drow is really good.
Exactly.
And the Silence this game, surprisingly enough, like against these heroes like Warlock, you want that ability. Like these non-committal ways of bursting these heroes down. And also, like, let's not forget, Mirana and Weaver are 2 heroes that, given that extra damage, can do so much. And in this patch, you don't really need that traditional offlaner. Like, they have the team fight from the 2 supports, so just pump out all that damage on the cores, and I think this drop pick is really good.
So you guys both think VGJ Storms is just a little bit stronger, easier to execute, maybe?
Yeah, but the early Crimson, though.
Dude, they haven't lost a game with Drow.
Yeah.
In how long?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
They might have dropped one at Summit. I don't remember, but I know for a fact they won 3 games with it in the qualifiers. They beat. I know they won a lot of scrims with this.
The way I look at Drow is like if you're against like a PL, even if you have like Shadowblade Hurricane Pike, that PL's just gonna chase you down. You're gonna die anyway. But against their lineup, since we said they have very little reach, if he gets Hurricane Pike as a Drow, he's surprisingly survivable.
Dog, he's going Shadowblade BKB. He's not even.
He's getting a Hurricane Pike.
No, he's not.
We talked about the lack of reach. He needs the tankiness. He's going to build a Hurricane Pike.
No.
Okay, talk about it later. There's only one way to know.
Mirana is, would you agree, the best mid hero to have at the Drow? Just the level 15 talent, all of a sudden every leap is 220 attack speed.
Yeah.
Like, that's just not fair.
Yeah, I think Queen of Pain and Storm are up there, though. But maybe in this particular patch, I think Mirana, I'd have to agree. Weaver's very good for it, too.
You have a stun. I agree.
But let's just say, VGJ Storm has the issue that if Vici can get to that point in the game where they can play up in your face with these bulky melee heroes, that's the whole idea behind Drow, right?
Can I hear your thoughts? I'm a little confused. I want to see, because Boots First just isn't really a thing anymore, and this is a 0 mana regen Wraith King.
He's got 3 stuns now.
He does, but still, like, that feels weird. Why do you get Boots first in lane, right? Because aren't lanes pretty 2-1-2 stag? Like, Boots were good when you roamed to middle, right? Nowadays, it's just you sit in a lane.
Yeah, it's all about creeps, too. Like, as a melee support, most of the time you see them, they'll be just denying or trying to mess up last hits, and you want a stout shield so you can tank more hits. I don't know. We'll have to see how it plays out for him.
Yeah, I'm intrigued.
There's a few supports nowadays that still go for it. I think Yapster is one of the most notable ones that I've seen that still goes Boots on a lot of heroes.
On Wraith King.
I'm not saying it's good on Wraith King. I'm just saying on supports in general, for whatever reason, these players favor having that movement speed.
Here we go. A hero you don't really want to square up on. SVG, he only hits the single. They do get the rune,
This is a mid-Drow.
Fine. Is it? They moved Resolution?
Mid-Drow, side lane, Mirana. And so...
Mind this. Tiny's always going to push the lane.
I don't know. He does not push it very much anymore with the cleave. It's only 30% cleave, and he has 90 damage for denying.
That is true.
So I feel like I'm curious to see how Ori plays it with the tree, but I've noticed that most players early game are just using the tree. They're not even trying to harass. They're just denying.
Yeah.
The 25% damage is insane.
They just don't want the drive against the Underlord, looks like.
Which is odd, because I feel like with Undying it could have been okay.
They don't. You know, it makes sense though, because both side lanes are rather unfavorable, the Clinks or the Underlord. And I just don't know if mid's much better, to your point. And regarding Lanham, he's got a lot of criticism in the Chinese scene for unconventional style, like not adapting to meta shifts, and he's almost out of regen as is. And as you said, it's a 2v2. Like, what are these boots going to do?
Listen, we got a Mango here and just Decay, right?
Yeah,
Decay's a 3
shield,
for...
man. It's so value.
Yeah, and Decay's a 3 for, right? It takes their life and does damage and gives you life because of the strength. It's a big one.
I just want to point out the mid lane CS right now.
Yeah, no.
4-4 to 1-0.
Yeah, I was showing in Resolution, actually, he skipped getting a free CS to hit the Tiny twice.
He's been hitting him all lane because he knows if Tiny's allowed to walk up and just hit creeps, then Tiny will get every single deny. So he knows the only way he can actually secure himself CS is by making it so the Tiny's too weak to walk up.
That's big, though. He gets the range creep deny. How big? A range creep denies, how big do you guys consider them? I love range creep denies.
They're not as big as they used to be, but they're still massive.
They're just demoralizing.
Yeah. Like, look at, he's ready, get ready.
Yeah, I mean, you can't do anything about it. He's going to get every single deny when he has tree up.
But part of the reason I'm so surprised it took this long for Tiny to get back in the meta, because you're a lane dominator, and you can get denies very easily with the bonus damage, and you have a stun.
Well, the damage went from 10% to 25% in the recent patch.
Yeah.
That, like, not 7.19, but 7.18, so that was the big deal. It's 25% at level 1.
So we haven't looked much at top lane, but Underlord as well as Snaking, they're both actually farming. I'm surprised Weaver has this much CS right now, but once the Firestorm spam level 2 Atrophy Ore comes out,
this is such an annoying lane. Warlock Undying, like, what do you do?
That Sakuchi last hit.
Yeah.
And now look at this Radiant scan. Rezo knows something's up. He sees the red, and look at, he's just ready to go into the trees.
Is really good here.
Yep. Very good. The use of the scan there.
He knows it ain't going to be a Warlock rotating, so if there's going to be a rotation, it's going to come from the bottom lane, which is just something that you can always think about whenever lane you're in. What support will rotate on you?
Rezo is some of the best positioning of any core in Dota. Even when he farms jungle, he often ensures that he positions himself like...
Where will the enemy come from if they come?
I've talked with him at length about this. Like, it's something he's thinking about as the game goes on. Like, he's going to continue to play topside because he knows the Wraith King is going to be... Caster Curse.
He is a little bit out, gets tossed all the way back. That should be not a tower hit, so he's just going to run away, actually.
He's fine.
He's an agility hero. He gets extra.
But he's missing a lot during this Tiny's.
And he's still in trouble as well.
Yeah, he's going to try to deny himself to Roche, it looks like. Not living the dream right now. Oh! Okay, well, saves the avalanche.
And Ori gets it, yep.
I like the first item Aquila on Tiny. He's just getting right-clicked all game, not only in lane, but also past that because of the drought lineup.
There's a kill top, actually. It's on 11. Dark Willow didn't even use Shadow Realm to help secure that. Must have... a little bit out of position.
I can't imagine how he overstepped his bounds,
And
Weaver bugs are nuts.
He's hitting for 90 already.
Yep, the Aquila, as you said. That's just a good item. Do you think, is that one of the items you think might see a little bit of change?
I definitely think it needs to.
It's hard to change,
It is. Because you can't make it worthless, but it's very strong.
Yeah, it feels like an item that's either going to always be purchased or never be purchased, and that's like the problem with these early game stat items is always one of them is better than the others.
I think, alternatively, there can just be more things to make a Bassi out of. Like, make a Bassi into.
I there be like an intelligence version or something?
Yeah, there's just nothing that you can buy that's as value as an Aquila. It's the only thing that makes your creep waves tankier as well.
So give it some competition.
Yeah.
The VG will drop there. Looked like he was fighting for that rune. Who ended up getting it? Doesn't look like him.
There's a regen rune bottom. That's why you only need the boots.
True. It's true. And now look at the stash. Wand, double mango. He's ready to move. It just feels weird, right?
Going on Fenrir top. Nice route by MSS. Like, he blocks the path of Fenrir to escape.
And look at the
that was really well placed. He knew Fenrir was going to try to tango his way through the trees, so the route was blocking that entire path.
And that's part of the reason I think you see this Weaver picked up a lot. Not only the synergy with the draw, obviously, in this game, but the bugs in the laning phase, man. They're so good. Especially against low armor heroes like Underlord.
You see massive amounts of pings. Dire knows that Resolution has a ward over there. Probably gets countered soon. If not
Bottom
now.
lane, Tombstone deployed. You are gonna get the kill on Lanham. Got the double Starfall off originally, so just so much damage being pumped out from that combined with Drow Aura.
And there's
He's
the
gonna buy
bounty.
bottle the rune. I like that play. Whenever you get a bounty rune spawn and you're like, it's efficient to do so. It's just, it's like 100. It's like 200 gold to regen for free because you get that rune. So
That's 4 runes, by the way.
Yep.
Not just 3. It is 4 for VGJ Storm.
They get the D-Ward mid on the side of Vici, but he's level 6 to Resolution's level 4. And we mentioned, like, this Tiny, like, in team fights is going to be honestly underwhelming in my opinion, but in terms of controlling the map when he gets this first item, he could really shut down these cores of VGJ from separating. So we might be looking at VGJ possibly planning to group up around this timing of Tiny, because if they let him get a couple kills in the mid game, that's quite scary for them.
But the thing is, Tiny's the only real playmaker.
Yeah.
Clinkz he can rotate, but he's gonna have to go to the Tiny's lane or just with the Wraithkin. Yeah, wow.
And that's just full HP to 0. He already flew out a flask. He has another healing salve coming. This is just...
He is getting his levels though, so at the same time he's going to be a Drow in a game where his whole purpose is to enable the other heroes. So I think it's mainly this Tiny's ability to do what we saw Sumail do last game, where he invaded the other lanes, completely ruining their games as well, not only the enemy mid laner. It's not enough to shut down a Drow. You have to shut down the heroes that Drow makes more powerful.
Yep.
Oh.
And the concern for Vici is that if you make a mistake, you fall behind, towers fall, and all of a sudden you're like one mistake away from losing the game.
Yeah, that's just how
They're
Drow
in a good
lineups
spot.
function, right?
I think if Tiny makes plays...
Paparazzi dead bottom.
Oh, is he?
He should be.
Yeah.
Nice gank there.
I'm surprised they're doing this well bottom, but I think that might just be the Undying versus Wraith King, right? Especially a Boots Wraith King. I mean,
Yeah, the
support.
1-4 counters the other.
And then you get the extra damage. I mean, Yawar just gets free harass, right, with the Drow Aura. And now Radiant pings out Dire's Ward middle.
Popped.
Was almost a kill, but will be saved by the shadows.
The shadow of the moonlight.
Gets taken by the shadows.
Yeah.
You guys were ever scared of your shadows when you were little? Like you didn't know what it was? Or were you guys smart?
I was deathly afraid of like sharks. Anything that was
I don't know
underwater.
how that came up, but...
Well, yeah, I mean, just that's what I was afraid of, man.
I only feared one thing, Velociraptors.
Okay.
I also feared failure. Oh wait, that's now.
So yeah, I was about to say, you're
Too real. But top lane, I mean, this Underlord has a Vanguard already at
But look at
7
this
minutes
here.
into the game.
The minus strength man himself, Undying's here. They're going to try to bring him. He's getting healed up by the Warlock. And Snaking actually right-clicking Fenrir on the backside. And
I mean, he has Warlock heal, he has a Vanguard, he has Atrophy Aura level 3.
We haven't mentioned him at all, but I think that the Underlord's game is even more important than the Tiny's. The fact that he's so strong already, the only real damage for VGJ is that the poke damage, is the raw physical damage output. Yeah. And when you have a Crimson, the Tombstone, the bugs, they do 0 damage.
Yeah.
It is zero counter. It is 0 damage.
What I wanted to be clear about, we mentioned it in the first game today, is that these heroes that play off map looking for kills, like Tiny, they're enabled by the other heroes that just walk down lanes and push them for you, setting up objectives. And Underlord's that hero for this Tiny. I don't like this TP in.
There's 2 people TPing in, and it's
like
going to be 11. Yep, they're going to look for him, but 11 doesn't have any points in the pit, so no lockdown. There's going to be a little bit of a chase, but SVG is just going to swagger on out of there.
You take that?
Yeah, they have, like, with the Underlord having no points in his Pit of Malice, they just have no way of actually chasing them down. So the Tiny, being a very low move speed hero, he completely relies on his teammates to set him up at this stage in the game before he has one of his mobility items.
Yeah, I was going to say.
That was very double. What? That was odd. It's just a double ward by Radiant. Huh. It's 2 different players, so yeah, could have been just a mistake.
Yeah, I love the way 11's like conceptually playing this game.
What do you mean by that?
He's playing the most dangerous part of the map. He's building himself to clear the wave, and that's it. He's trying to relieve pressure, and that's all he cares about. Like, he's not getting Pit of Malice in order to set up kills. He's not using his ultimate in any way. He says, I'm going to occupy the most dangerous part of the map, and my role is to survive and push this wave out, because that's what Weaver wants to do with a Drow, is just continuously apply pressure and kills. And it's like if anybody else on his team were to have to go top, they just feed. So he's enabling the rest of his team to play.
And you want to simplify the game. Like, the only reason... VGJ, your move is simple. You're going to dive this top tower and take it.
Yeah.
They tried because the Underlord had left, but otherwise, he's going to plant himself there. You can then ignore the lane as Vici and play the other areas of the map.
But you can even make plays around this lane like they are now.
Oh, look at this. It's going to be
bounty runes.
smoke into a Moonlight Shadows, but they miss it. And now I don't know about this 11 trying to go on him, and they want the rune. He's going to have to ulti out. Unfortunately, looks like 11 will get it for VGJ Storm, but Vici Gaming, there's a lot of zombies up. Are they going to find anything, or is that just going to be runes for Vici Gaming?
Dude,
sure looks like
zombies.
Yeah, Clinks gets both runes bottom as well.
So that's 4, and this is, I mean, VJ Storm got 4 runes last time, but guess which ones are worth more?
Yeah.
These ones.
It's a really...
You didn't give me the chance to guess.
Oh, sorry.
It's a close game so far, though. I think it's still very much in either team's ballpark. It's going to come down to these rotations. Who's going to find the first real... who's going to score the first real point and then take a tower?
Yeah, like that top one, it could have, if VJ Storm stuck around, Vici could have just maybe wiped them, pushed their own tier 1, but so far, it's reasonably passive, right? 7 kills at 11 minutes. You do have a Clinks who's reasonably farmed, right? Once you get Tread Soaring Aquila, you just eat a big creep. You do a decent amount of damage.
Tiny's going for Blink instead of Shadowblade, which I like a lot against these heroes like Willow. Generally, Shadowblade's better if the opponent sees you briefly and you can still kill them. But against these heroes like Willow and Weaver and Mirana, if they see you under a sentry, they're going to get away. So the Blink gives you little time to react. Double damage Weaver.
Wow.
Yep,
Well played by Snaking. That's the Drow factor come into play, and the DD.
Yeah, that just shows he was... I feel like he barely killed him there, and he had double damage and Drow Aura, so... This Underlord is still quite tanky, but that kill is quite important.
The thing about the Blink Dagger, to your point, is that you need to use it. Shadowblade, I think, is a lot less risky because it allows you to accelerate, and it's less all-in as far as I need to find kills to stay.
But you said he's their only playmaker, so he knows this, right?
I'm not saying I would rather a wand for sure, and then a Shadowblade. But Blink's fine if he lands a couple kills right off the bat. Then
he has to land a couple kills.
Yeah.
Though.
Other thing is, it doesn't cause mana. Shadowblade, you can have mana issues, especially if you skip bottle, as he has.
Yeah.
And it looked like they maybe were trying to bait the Mirana into pushing that tier 1. They TP'd 2 people in, but they just back out. Now the Underlord heads bottom.
Mirana's getting a Dragon Lance of her own just so that she can survive the
combo.
The combo from Tiny, which I like a lot. Weaver has not gone that route, so if he can manage to catch Weaver with this Blink Dagger, that'd be a pretty huge kill. Weaver's been applying a ton of pressure top on Snake King, going for the Diffusal, which is quite scary for all of the heroes of Vici. Very low mana pools, heavily reliant on them.
I also hope it gets the mana break instead of the XP talent in this game. I think you just stack that, and all these strength heroes on Vici, you show up, hit them 4 times, all of a sudden they've got no game whatsoever.
That's when mana burn's most effective, is when heroes heavily rely on mana and they don't have very much of it.
And well, top lane, Wraith King was level 4 for a long time, but gets some decent levels, almost level 7 now, with an urn, so LanM does
forced to leave
recuperate.
top on the Underlord. That double damage kill is what makes this happen, and now he still doesn't have a point in his ultimate on Underlord, so he can't like play super aggressive up top and just TP out.
This could be a kill into a tower, which I'm sure they'd love, and this is on the second highest farmed, highest level in the game, Mirana.
I don't know how you actually catch him unless you manage to get the Blink Dagger on Tiny off.
Well, there's 5 here, so let's see. Oh my goodness, he sees everyone. Alright, I'm out of here. See you guys later.
This is one of the Radiant advantages, though. This bottom tower, not nearly as effective as the top tower that Radiant secures, because that sets up for Roche. This tower, what does it really protect?
It helps you farm the Radiant jungle as a core for Vici, but
it just, you don't want to be playing bottom because it's the direct opposite of Roche.
Especially against a Drow lineup.
And there's the bugs. You see 11 just focused on killing. Once you kill that, a lot of damage gone. He does, and they just have to get back. There comes the Dark Willow. It only hit 1 because Paparazzi was a little delayed in his TV. Goes for SVG, who's just going to run away. It looks like they get the easy kill on 11. Paparazzi in a lot of trouble. This is going to be another kill for VGJ Storm. Will he get SVG? No. But on the backside, is it over yet?
And he's looking
here, and he is going to stun. He will hit SVG, who will get taken down. But if you die here, that is not worth it at all.
Oh dear.
MSS gets the kill, and there's a tip.
The tip.
That's the first one I've seen. Wait,
goodness.
We didn't see him in the first series, right?
No, we didn't.
And this is MSS.
And that was the G series.
Yeah, I've never seen MSS.
Hitting him with the AI step.
Oh, arrow hits on the... Nope, never mind. Not going to turn it into...
Well, it did hit him.
It did hit him.
Correct.
Yes. Testing you.
So it is 9-3. VJ Storm. I mean, they're playing their Drow lineup correctly.
That's the play that you fear if you're Vici. Like, that's your issue, is that if you try and defend this tower and then lose all these heroes, look at the 3k gold for VGJ. Drow suddenly walks back to the bottom lane. No one's left.
Yeah. What do you do?
Free 2 minutes of farm.
For Rezo.
You make so much space.
So what do you want to, like, is this game just on Ori to make stuff happen with Tiny, or how, like, what do they do?
That's what it comes down to. I don't really know. Clinks is not a hero that makes his own game. Like, you can rotate, but, like, he doesn't solo kill anyone.
Yeah.
He's up
Not for a while.
+1. But the Wraith King, I say about Wraith King support, when you're outmatched at level 1, how do you buy yourself a game? You don't clear creep waves, you don't push, like you're just a walking stun.
MSS.
Top lane.
Well,
They are smoked behind him, though.
Yeah, they are. They're looking for 11. Pinmouse comes down, in comes the rock as well. Stun toss will hit on both of them. Snaking, he can't even use his ulti because he'll just go right back into the pit. He will survive.
Ori actually messed that up. He should have stun comboed the Weaver instead of the Willow.
I think he was invis.
Oh, was he?
Yeah,
but he was on the pit with a sentry. I don't know. It was close, yeah.
Sentry was placed.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's a big deal that Snaking got away, but if they can turn this into an objective.
Well, Snaking, he knows it's a free kill on Fenrir if he finds him, but it's nighttime.
Hits for 165 damage on Weaver with that double attack, 330 damage.
Yeah, so he did go for the XP as well, by the way.
Yeah,
But,
that's exactly what you said, right?
I think they're both good because when you go XP with the Drow Aura, like your stats are just so value. Like you can just get strong. The goal is the game doesn't end quick, so it's nice to get those other talents online.
Oh, and they're trying to bring this. They just want the rock, and well, it's 100 gold for MSS as well as level 9. That's almost a full spirit vessel now.
Dude, everybody wants the rock. He's in like 4 blockbusters.
He is. I don't know. The rock, he's all right. What if Stone Cold Steve Austin would have instead became the main actor instead of the rock? Probably wouldn't have happened.
What ifs?
What ifs? What ifs are a big thing in Dota. What if BSJ was playing TI? What if BSJ was casting TI? Well, we know that one.
Yeah, and so far, that's up to you guys. Yeah, okay. Come on, man. I was going to say maybe the viewers can decide.
Well, that's why they gave him a tryout. You know, they put him with 2 of the stalwart, reliable casters. You know.
Well, yeah, we all said the reason why there's a tri-cast is so you get at least 2 people's worth of quality.
Yeah.
And like they were like, we got Kyle, we got BSJ, we got like Analyst Grant and Caster Grant, but mid lane
instantly dead.
Well, he's a worthless hero right now, honestly, with no gold.
Look at this, the bugs hit. That's the thing, right? These bugs are stacking. You are dead, 11. This is just a Drow lineup played to perfection. It feels like.
He doesn't look very techy anymore.
No. You drop the tomb and you dive the tower is 5. And look at this. Top tower dead, mid tower dead. What time is it?
Game time.
Is it Roche?
Oh, Roche time.
I've got a question. I've almost never seen anyone at level 20 pick the 0.5 armor reduction. Is it just, 2 attacks is a lot, right?
It's basically like the bugs are so important to just stay on that there's really nothing that you could want more than making it harder to kill them.
I love that decision. Give the Aegis to your Weaver. He went Diffusal.
And he's the most farmed.
There's no way they're killing him twice. Yeah. They have to kill him in like a Wraith or a Tiny combo, and once they Tiny combo him,
look at his item choice. You like this heart second item?
I love it. I legitimately love it. He doesn't need a damage item or like anything to make himself more impactful because he has the Drow, and then if he can dangle for the rest of his team. No one else on his team wants to be in the front lines, right? Yeah. He wants to be the one that VG is forced to go on. And if he has a heart, then there's no way. They have very limited damage output in the mid game for VG since they're behind. And they're Tiny when blink instead of Shadow Blade.
And you need someone on your team to be the fight starter. Like, walk in there, get a diffusal off, start hitting somebody, the tomb goes down, make yourself a target. And to your point, his other cores, you don't want them to do that.
Yeah.
They're more they survive through mobility, and in Drow's case, through just being behind everybody else.
If you don't have innate initiation, you need someone who can force the opponent to start the fight on your terms, because you're like, we want you to go on this guy, so we're going to put him in front of you.
You got to think of like some sort of word for that. It's like, it's not like a space maker, because that has different connotations based around how like the map is played, but it's more like someone's got to get into the thick of things. The entry fragger.
Yeah, okay. The frontliner.
Yeah, that makes it sound like a Medusa.
Okay, I know what you're saying.
Do you?
I'd say like the disruption or something like that.
Thesaurus during the break, and we'll find one.
Okay.
It looks like we have a
They're
gank.
smoked up the top.
They're smoked. They have the Murano ulti as well if they wish to use it, but they might use that as an escape mechanism more than initiation.
I like that Clinks is bottom. This is really his best play.
Yeah, I was gonna bring on Paparazzi. Like, he's a little like Tiny, right? Like, isn't Klink's best when he's picking off kills on the map?
Yeah.
Is that just not possible this game?
It's not possible this game.
Underlord can't show anymore. Underlord can't show in lanes, and that's what you require in order to have kill threat. You need the lanes to be pushing in your favor. Looks like they want to fight here.
5-on-5, but they go in immediately. SVG doesn't even get taken down, gets the tombstone, they get the rocket. It's pretty nice. We're going to see a tear on the backside. Not yet. He hasn't used it. He will throw it in. Ori.
Oh my god.
He's going to die now.
Tombstone lived with one hit.
And look at this. A TP out from 11 doesn't have ulti. Lan M more than likely gonna die. Yes. Yawar gets a kill and Dust gets popped out, but Paparazzi makes it, and that's a 3-for-1. As you said, the tombstone with one hit mixed with the terrorize of Dark Willow.
Why are you able to miss up hill on that?
Why not?
Because every other thing you can't miss up on hill.
Yeah, okay, let me tell you the lore of it. So a spire, right? That is pretty much a spire, even though it's a tombstone.
I can see where you're going with that.
And so the tombstone does not have windows.
Okay.
So no one can see out of it.
Do spires have windows?
Yes, Rapunzel is in a spire.
Oh. Wait, so what do the windows have to do with it?
No one can see out of it. So if you can't see out of it, people can't see into it and hit it.
Reliably 100% of the time,
exactly.
but they can still take blind firing.
Yes, which is why the misses are there.
Oh my god.
No, it feels like you guys didn't.
If I just understood lore,
yeah.
if I just understood lore, I wouldn't have to remember anything about Dota. I would just like be able to infer it.
Yeah.
Wow. Analyst Grant in a nutshell. But
yeah, I was gonna say we don't have 3 casters.
Yeah, we have 5.
We have 5.
Yeah.
Observer, analyst, caster, Grant. Just wait. You know, Savage Grant unfortunately couldn't make an appearance here at TI.
Yeah.
Well, that's a.
Yet.
I feel like I'm savagely, this
Myself?
ops, but no, the ops, but yeah. Well, he almost has so he has the Crimson Guard. We saw it did mitigate a ton of the damage, but are they just too far behind at this point?
I feel like if Tombstone gets down, they lose the fight.
The problem is you have to say, there was some game I think Liquid ran a similar draft, but they were tanky and none of their cores died, and that allowed them to keep their towers alive because you can't group up as the Drow lineup. But now, it's just not enough, and you're losing the 5-on-5s. And I feel like EG and VGJ Storm demonstrating the importance of having these supports with incredible teamfight impact.
Yeah.
The Tombstone goes down, the Fear lands. How do you win a fight as Vici?
You can't, as they just shown. And look at this 11. It's not even the damages. Look at his mana pool just cut in half. He's still going. He says whatever. That's the best thing about Weaver. Like, your ulti, and a spot like this, you're not going to team fight probably, so you can just harass with ulti.
What items Rezo got?
He's going Hurricane Pike.
No, he's not.
Yes,
I thought he was going BKB.
Oh,
he's going 4-step BKB.
Yeah, but he's going for the Hurricane Pike. Yeah. I'm telling you, man, it's the peel.
Yeah.
He knows that VG can't chase him past the tiny combo, so if he survives in 4 stabs, he lives.
Fenrir just getting run down by Snake King. We could watch the Underlord die instead. We'll watch Fenrir die.
Yeah, Underlord died before getting his ulti out.
That's a blade mail on Tiny. That's not...
I've built this item recently. It's one of those where you're behind and you're like, I'm going to blink in and combo somebody, and then I know I'm going to die anyway, so I might as well blade mail.
You go Echo Saber every game. It's the I'm a behind Tiny. It's the
I don't know, man. I don't feel like Echo Saber enables you in fights this game. If he was playing for the pickoffs, yeah, Echo Saber's better, but if you saw last fight, he did a lot of damage with the blade mail.
Put the blade mail on the racks.
Yeah.
What?
I don't know what he's going with that, because you can't put an Echo Saber on the racks either. Are you saying Echo Saber attacks with the racks twice?
Well, Resolution kills Paparazzi top.
Solo kills him.
Yeah, we're just watching this. Here we go. They're going to go in. Rock's going to drop. Klinks does buy back. Instantly, SVG is dead. But as you said, the Tombstone's down. Lan M will slow everybody. Plus this upheal. Everyone's just moving at 0 move speed at this point. MSS trying it away. Will Shadow Roam. Will go for the TP. Or
Tiny Avalanche. Oh, 1 second cooldown.
So well played. They lose 1. It's just SVG, the one they're trying to sacrifice. 9k advantage now. They get the tier 3. Rezo gets the solo kill.
That's the biggest thing, right?
He just got Hurricane Pike and he has 1,200 gold.
It's both teams making the right move. Vici's just outmatched right now. It's like a 90-10 game. Storm is in a commanding position, and they play it right. Kill the split pusher. You're going to make the buyback play if you're Vici, but it's too little too late.
They won't even let me go over there. All right. MSS. They're tipping each other, though.
Okay, that's nice.
It was a solo kill. Pardon me for missing. But do you think, now going back to the draft a little bit, like, they had to kind of see this Drow coming, right? When you have a Dark Willow, a Weaver, and a Mirana, like, it had to be in the back of their mind, right? You think they wanted him to pick it, maybe?
If there's one hero I think you don't want to play against Storm, it's Drow.
Yeah.
Like, that's their go-to, their favorite strat that they will pick. That's what won them the qualifier, if I'm not mistaken. I think they played it in both games.
Pretty much, yeah. And it just feels like with the Tiny, you're like, oh, I'm gonna be able to get on top of this Drow so easily, and then,
yeah.
I mean, the Tiny's the one person who won the lane on his team, right? And now bottom, Paparazzi
no detection
running.
on the Weaver.
Yeah. He has a full heart, by the way. He has 2.6k HP with intelligence treads on. Yeah. This Weaver is a tough one.
Would you say he has a lot of heart?
I would say he does.
Oh.
The problem is that Underlord, yeah, he won his lane, but he can only, his whole purpose is to sit on towers and be tanky. And if you're ever not tanky enough, like, there's no way for you to gain advantage for your team.
Yeah.
Your goal is to just stall.
Your goal is to take the dangerous farm and prevent the opponent from getting objectives while doing so, and if you're not able to do that, then you're just not a hero in the game of Dota, honestly. Like, yeah, he pops Crimson Guard in fights, but
okay,
you're not like, wow, the impact of this Underlord.
Possibly gonna be a fight middle, or they're just securing the jungle for Radiant. They just want everything. Might be a tier 2 though. I love snaking runs over to tank for the siege creep. Siege creeps are that important.
They are. They do 55 damage per hit on towers.
Look at that. It even got the last hit. This guy's good.
Dire's bottom shrine is under attack.
So Shrine getting attacked
Roche
now.
is their next objective for high ground.
Yep, they already killed top shrine. Their advantage went from that high ground push. Now it was 9. Now it's 14,000. Both shrines are dead. As you said, wait for next Roche. Probably get a BKB on Drow.
Weaver's just going to present himself like this, as he has been all game. He's just building tanky items. He went for the heart. Now he's going for a butterfly.
SVG gets his tranquil boots. He's ready to go.
He's online. He can now walk faster to lay Tombstone and die.
Yep. Well, looks like they had.
I saw him in a Ward Sentry combo.
This is such a tough kill, though.
Radiant are scanning.
Let's see. Do they have? They have dust on Undying. They know he's near top. Maybe they're like, maybe he'll just pop out and. He's running. He's running down.
And this is not the way you want to play on Clinks, but if you're behind like this, you have to. And he's actually just going to have to TP out. Still 1,000 gold off of his BKB on Clinks.
Yep. Meanwhile, Rezo has his. Yep. I think we might just. You're still scared, right? I mean, this is a Pit of Malice, Firestorm, plus Warlock into a... You can't just straight up do a Roche, can you?
I think the Warlock is the key. If you get that 4-man Fatal Bombed off, it's rough.
Plus Rock, you just stun everyone. Everyone's taking 5,000 damage. That's rough.
But this is Vici Storm with the control of the Roche area with this ward, so they know they can do this, and they have Undying to break the smokes on top of where the ward is, so if the smoke breaks, the hero will be revealed, so they don't have to worry about a play Vici could make about it.
So you like they give the second one to Mirana this time? Why not give it to the Weaver again?
He's just not going to die before...
Okay.
No, he's just not going to die.
He's going Butterfly next. HP.
Notice how the Mirana even took the HP talent at level 10. Just little things. They know that the way they lose fights is getting bursted by Tiny, and as long as nobody gets bursted, then Tiny Clinks are quite underwhelming, and the Tombstone will pay off over the course of the fight.
Well, here we go, middle lane.
Drow, Hurricane Pike, BKB, and Cheese.
I said everyone was here, and then Resolution just ran off to the jungle. But we are going to see a burst down. He doesn't want to lose the Aegis yet.
Oof.
And he won't. Barely.
They have any urn charges for him? No Spirit Vessel charges. They haven't killed anybody. They're
surgically playing this game.
Yeah,
they know. Yep. They know the only way for them to lose is to throw this game at this point.
It's 17k now. The advantage, and I think it's less about the advantage, I would say, and just the items, right? Like, you're going to pick up items too if you're Vici, but once they have this BKB on Drow, Weaver, does he have a butterfly, or did he just change?
He's going for it.
He's changing apparently to a moon shard. It's for the night vision.
Yeah.
For the night vision.
You're just tossing out 4,000 gold for the...
It's for the night vision.
You think 4,000
Tombstone giving 1,800 night vision wasn't enough. Fun fact of the day.
That is weird. So honestly, why do you think he's going this?
Because he has damage to build attack speed? There's no way he can
value on the mana burn as well. And to your point, yeah, you have so much damage from the Drow that the attack speed is probably your most value gold per DPS.
Oh, that is true.
Oh, look at this. Rezo might find another solo kill. He doesn't get his blink off in time. Will he play damage? I don't think so.
Got him.
He gets out.
Who took more damage there, the Drow or the Tiny?
Wow.
Drow with 40 armor, Tiny with 21. It's pretty close.
So how does Blade Mill work again at BSJ for the fans at home?
Yeah, if you deal 400 physical damage, for instance, and the guy has 20 armor, it counts as dealing him 400 damage that gets dealt to you and that damage that gets dealt back is reduced by your own armor. So if Drow has 40 armor and Tiny has 20, he will take less damage while hitting the Tiny.
I just realized, man, if they brought the noob stream back, you would be perfect for it.
I mean,
because they can relate.
I will be one amongst my people, okay? You have to understand.
No,
you know.
your game mechanic knowledge is amazing. Trust me.
Oh, thank you.
It is very nice to have someone I can ask.
Yeah, I mean, that's not why Kyle's here for sure.
I know that's Grant's pet peeve is like when people don't know Dota, because he's like, man, 6 years ago.
Let me tell you the story about the spires that have to do with the dying tombstone.
In patch 6.4 now, but we do have almost a full Mjolnir up. Or is it?
They're just waiting for this net worth advantage. How long do they have on Aegis? 2 minutes. They got all three. They got 3 out of 4 bounty runes. Klink's managed to snipe one of them, but you're just noticing the net worth steadily, slowly but surely climb in favor of VGJ. They can keep waiting for an opportunistic rune. The Mirana now has an arcane rune.
Is that opportunistic?
I think arcane rune is one of the most powerful runes in the game.
Shouldn't they get to snaking?
Isn't that Weaver is one of the best arcane rune carriers, if not the best like carrier.
I think like Storm and Weaver.
Yeah, you have perma uptime on your Sakuchi.
A Scotty, the new choice for snaking.
He's just mixing it up.
Yeah,
I'm honestly fine with that. He's against heroes that he
could
like
slowly
hit, like all these tanky melee heroes that you just slow to death, and then he just doesn't die ever.
Yep.
There it is.
Yeah,
Full Scotty.
I'm perfectly fine with this purchase.
Because Vici, like, they don't really deal enough damage to take him out ever.
Oh, Tombstone goes down, by the way. Is this an early committed fight? It looks like they get a root down Underlord. Look at the eye of Scott doing so much to the Underlord, just slows him in place. There we're going to have a stun toss combo coming out on the backside, but it won't be enough. Yawar, he still has the Aegis Will. It's going to be a cancel ulti from 11, actually. No one's dead yet except 11. And now look at Snaking. He actually does not care. He is sitting at 3.5 HP. There's the Blade Mill, but Snaking, once again, doesn't care with all this HP. They're going for Ori. Will they get him? Doesn't look like it land him. Will just run in again. Pops ulti, will slow some people, but their axe is gone.
Dude, the Mjolnir as well on top of Snaking.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Whenever you have that hero that can stand the front line, it becomes even better. And the fact that they understand that, right? He's building that way. He's putting the Mjolnir onto Snaking. Snaking probably took 7,000 damage that fight, and then he's just back to full with that heart.
I mean, is there anything Vici can do now? Like Warlock Rock Fatal Bond's what we said is the comeback, and it's on cooldown for 140.
Yep, they can't take fights without that. And Klinks is just underwhelming in this kind of spot. To be honest with you, he's a hero that relies on being able to push Q and kills people, and he just can't.
Look at Snake. He actually doesn't care. Gets to defuse a lot.
Has time lapse, then he doesn't care.
And this just prevents the Fatal Bombs.
He's gonna have to use it. Yeah. Will.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's it.
Wow.
People are really favoring, like at least the NA team so far, really favoring that hero that the way they enable high ground is by running at you as the super tanky hero that you can't ignore. We saw the Alchemist for EG, we saw the Weaver here, and like I think that's a really cool aspect that the